somebody says, I don't care about privacy because I've got nothing to hide, that's like saying that I don't care about free speech because I have nothing to say. It's not about you. It's about everyone. It's about all of us. It's about potential. It's about possibility. It's about the foundation of everything that we believe in, that so many people have fought and died for. And if you're not willing to stand up for your own right to be you, why do you care about what happens? All you're saying is that I'm willing to let everyone else decide everything that affects my life. I'm willing to let other people decide my future because I don't have any ideas of my own.
Fuck your strike! Fuck your strike!
Typically, when you're using kind of signals intelligence, that kind of surveillance, so electronic surveillance, it is part of a broader picture. So it's a bit like asking the question, can you think of a case where the left rear wheel of a fire truck was essential to putting out a fire? Okay. Well, no, because there's a lot of other things that go to putting out a fire, and maybe you could have made it to the fire in time with one less wheel, one less tire. Typically, you're using a whole series of methods, which could include informants, could include public activities, it could include putting agents in place, it could include electronic collection, and all of those are part of the picture.
I would argue it's not a question of can this thing be justified in terms of efficacy or whatever. It's do we want to live in a world without human rights?
States are using intelligence for the same reasons as they were 2,000–3,000 years ago, collecting political information, military information, information that helps make decisions, that makes the jobs of soldiers easier, that saves citizens' lives, that improves our advantage at negotiation. They have no real Official Secrets Act in the United States. The laws that cover people stealing information are more about espionage or that sort of thing. So you have a much bigger, more vaguely worded law, a broader law, covering everything from journalists' willingness or unwillingness to cooperate with government about their secret sources, all the way ranging towards actual spies exfiltrating secrets. We decided instead of classifying the information, instead of having the law protect the information, it's actually just going to cover everyone with clearance. It's even easier here to say you violated official secrecy or not.
Where our governments are increasingly invested with extraordinary capabilities to peer into all of our private lives with very little interference. Whereas we, the public, can know almost nothing about how they operate.
Data is the actual content of a piece of information. And the metadata is the information or data that describe a piece of information. For example, when you have a textbook, each chapter in the textbook is considered to be the data, okay? And then the title, the authors, the publication years, the ISBN number, the price are considered to be the metadata. If you put these terminologies in the context of communications, let's say when you make a phone call, okay, so the audio voice, the audio content in the phone call is considered to be data. The metadata is the date, the time, the locations, and the telephone number that you're calling are considered to be metadata.
We have to understand why metadata gets collected. That is, if you have an active case where you actually know that there's a plot, you can't retroactively put the metadata collection in place. So if you want to know who someone's been talking to, you have to have collected that information before you knew that the person was of interest.
There are now lone individuals, these kind of super criminals, right? Like terrorists, spies, and things like that, who are totally capable of destabilizing our entire societies, ending our governments, collapsing our states. Now, there's no real evidence that that's actually the case. But the politics of this fear have really reshaped the way that our laws are being passed.
It needs to be parliamentary oversight. And that's not necessarily because I think a lot of nefarious stuff is happening in the sort of signals intercept world, but because there's the possibility for abuse, even accidental abuse, of things creeping over a line, of things being used in the way they weren't originally intended. So I see absolutely no reason why one can't have parliamentary oversight.
We are at a decision point, and we could have a very dark future or a very bright future, but the ultimate determination of which fork in the road we take won't be my decision. It won't be the government's decision. It will be your generation's decision.